Continuing on for the opposition side, I wanted to emphasize that punishing drug addicts does not solve the problem here. First, most inmates they don't get treated in jail. Author B.F. Skinner, who studied human behavior, explained that a behavior that is punished is likely to be done again after the consequences are withdrawn. In this case, criminals who were put in jail for drug addiction would most likely relapse after serving their time in jail. And so, forcing people to go through imprisonment is not treatment and it will not cure the addiction. Next, punishing instead of treating brings more harm than good. It could make the drug user think that everyone is against them rather than trying to help them break through. This would cause the user to be even more depressed, even more stressed. And what do drug users do when they're stressed and depressed? Well, that's right. They will fulfill their needs by getting more drug in any way possible, and so this causes more problem. Third, if we expose all cases of drug addiction in the world, not even in the world, in Indonesia, and throw every single people involved, every single people that is a suspect in jail, the jail would be overloaded with inmates. And what becomes the problem is that government cannot accommodate, government cannot pay for all of the expenses, starting from the water bills, electricity, food 3 times a day, the wages of people who work there, and so much more. Because they're still the country's responsibility. Throwing someone to jail, it does not mean that they are out of our duty just like that. We still have to take care of them as our responsibility. Often, in Indonesia, injustice also happens. Citing from Detik News, back in 2009, a judge from West Jakarta was reported to the police for the injustice he did when deciding on a case about narcotics. It was a case about Benny, who was 49 years old. He was sentenced with only 3 months in jail and a fine of 1 million rupiah for owning 0.5 grams of sabu-sabu. While on the other hand, Kevin, who was 19, was charged with 2 years in jail with only 0.4 grams of sabu-sabu as evidence. And so this is very injustice, in which you can see that someone who had more grams of drugs is charged with lesser time in jail. And to conclude, I stay firm on my stance that tackling drug addiction cannot be done by punishment. Instead of giving them sentence, rehabilitation in a rehab center is proven to be more appropriate. There are lots of rehab centers all throughout Indonesia. One of the biggest is the one that you can find in Bogor, called Balai Besar Rehabilitasi (BNN). They offer 3, 6, until 12 months program, and they also accept people of all ages and genders, and they give free facilities. More about it can be viewed on their website. Thank you. That's all that I can say for my debate speech with the motion, this House believes that the appropriate action of tackling drug addiction is punishment. I hope that this video can be useful, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.